The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Here I am. Oh, I don't think I've talked yet today. Clearly.
You've
hi
been
guys.
kissing microphones.
I know. I just told Noah before the show that Luigi's always next to me when we tape, which is so adorable because he just knows the routine now. Like he wanders into the room before the podcasting room before we begin and kind of waits for me and is so excited to spend this time where he can be flush with my body sitting next to me and I'm not on my phone and I'm just kind of rubbing him. It's rare for an animal to get that. Like, I don't watch TV a lot and just sit and talk to, I'm always on my computer, on my phone, or eating things. So I think he really enjoys it. But he came up next to me this morning and I was like, come on up, Bubba. And I was petting him and I wanted to kiss his soft little head, but it wasn't next to mine. But for some reason, my brain thought it was. And the mic is right in front of me. So I just go, and I just kissed the mic gently. And I told Noah, I just kissed the mic thinking it was Luigi's head. And I was like, I don't know why I did that. And then I hugged Luigi again. And I go, I just love you. And then I kissed the mic again.
You did it again.
It was recording. We should actually put a clip of me doing it twice in a row. And you said it was like a morning glitch.
Yeah.
I liked that. Because it's early.
Especially
where you are. It's 5 a.m. where you are?
No, it's 6:07 at the moment.
Oh, okay, good. So you guys are
But the sun
daylight
isn't up
saving.
yet.
Oh, yeah. Nor was it for me when I was walking Luigi this morning. It's so weird. I hate when it's so dark outside. And then it gets dark early. What the fuck? Aren't you supposed to get more light? Well, listen, I don't want to talk about science right now. Let's talk about politics. Political science. Did you ever hear political science and go, those are two words I don't
Care about?
Care about.
Yeah.
Actually, science now I appreciate because it's more palatable with podcasts and people who can kind of, because science is actually important to learn because it's, based in facts and, it makes you understand your brain and your thoughts and all the things. Like, it can help you understand your emotions, even science. And obviously Sam Harris has gotten me into it a lot. But yeah, political science used to go oh God, why would anyone choose that as a major? That was always a major people chose. And I was just Middle Eastern, anything okay, let me just say Middle Eastern food is my favorite. Middle Eastern men are some of the sexiest I've ever seen in my life. Nothing against the Middle East. I want to go there someday. I have no idea. The conflict over there is so intimidating. I'm Sharon clueless of but I thought they declared peace in the Middle East. And just so I just, and I should know about, the I don't even want to talk about what I don't know. But when any mention of Palestine and the banks and Gaza Strip comes up, it's like football for me, Noah. I have tried to understand it. And I sit down and I have someone explain it to me because I want to be an informed person and I want to be a person who cares about, things and maybe picks a side. Because I'm always I don't know what side you're supposed to be on, which is a ridiculous thing to say, to be who's right? Because it seems to me when I have asked that it's oh man, I kind of see both sides of things. And honestly, and I truly know nothing, and I know you know a lot more. It can be that, right? But I feel most of the time it's not that. What I feel about any kind of thing like that generally at this point in my life is there's no bad countries because they're just civilians who were just born in a country. They didn't choose to be born there. They're not inherently evil because they're on this side or that side. Maybe the people in power are evil. And we can debate whether or not those people even chose to be evil. I don't think you have really a choice if you're born as Saddam Hussein's. I know this is a separate issue, but Uday and Usay, those guys didn't have a chance to be good people. They weren't set up for success. So I'm not even mad at them that they became, tyrants. But I digress. what I was going to say was I'm super into the Making Sense podcast recently. And I want to just get other people into it because I know I've been vocal about the Waking Up app and meditation, all of that in the past. I've fallen away from meditation, but as a daily practice, it's something that I always just like use when it, anxiety bubbles up. But I used to be very, I used to proselytize about like, you must use it. And it turned a lot of people onto it who still use it and like talk to me about like, wasn't today's daily meditation great? And I'm like, you don't do it anymore. But the thing about meditation that I love is that it's gentle and that I would not be doing it. And I probably wouldn't even pick it back up when I need it if it were something that I felt I was all or nothing and that I would feel like a failure if I didn't do. So days when I don't feel like meditating, I just go, I don't need it because it's a thing that if I need a hammer, I'll use it. It would be weird to pick up a hammer every day if I don't need it. But for some reason, this morning I woke up, and today we're doing this podcast very early. I have a long day and I woke up at 5:45, my alarm went off, and I just felt so fucking good, Noah, because last night I had such a bad migraine. It started low level at like 6 p.m. It was just a headache. And if you are out there and you suffer with a migraine, I don't know how it presents for you. Some people see auras and lights and stuff. I haven't had in like different shapes like that will warn you in your visual field. You'll see things that before your headache comes on that will warn you. Listen, it's like when a dog starts barking because of earthquakes coming and you're just like, okay, let me take my migraine medicine now. It kind of warns you. And it's so scary when those happen because you just go, oh fuck, I know what I'm in for. I don't get auras, AURAS, any warnings, but I do get like a low level headache that always just feels like, oh, I need to drink water. Like one of those, like just a little thing. And I got to the shoot that I had to do, and I asked for someone for Advil or Tylenol, whatever. I don't know the difference between any of it. And they gave me some, and then the headache wouldn't go away. And I was like, maybe I need caffeine. Maybe it's a caffeine headache. I'm very addicted to caffeine. And then I got a latte. It was decaf, but I thought maybe placebo. That didn't fix it. And then and I haven't had a migraine since I got my IUD ripped out of my body, literally ripped out of my body because it was so wound up in my ute or cervix, whatever they latch it to. I mean, it's this copper thing. Mine wasn't copper. I used Mirena, and I've told this story before, but they put it in, and it like latches to your skin. Like they have to like hook it on you like you're an old bass fish. And I got it removed eventually because I traced my migraines that I was getting chronically struggling with. Terrible time of my life when I had those migraines. Couldn't connect the two because I was so unaware of like what here are the things I'm putting in my body, literally hooking to my body, and here are the things that my body is doing. Where's the connection? I would always just be like, oh, I guess I just get migraines because I got hit by a car in 2014. I thought it was because I got hit by a car. But around that time I got hit by a car, I also got the IUD put in, and then eventually I got it taken out, yanked out, and it was so horrific. Ugh, it was the worst. If you have an IUD out there and you're getting migraines, just look into it.
I'll never get an IUD because of your story, by the way.
I feel like a lot of people do well with like a copper IUD, which is literally just a piece of copper they put up in you that is not as, like it's not just a bunch of hormones. I don't know. But yeah, that story, I mean, they couldn't get it out. And I felt them go like yank. I'm so sorry. I know people are just wincing right now. And afterwards I said, can I hold it? Like it was like a baby or something. And it had tissue on it. I mean, it was awful. But right away my migraine stopped. And I used to get these migraines, you guys, that were so terrible. I was dating my ex-boyfriend Chris at the time. We were living together, and he was so wonderful because he would see these coming on. And if I was dating someone that had these, I would say, I don't even know if I can date you. Like you're chronically in pain. They're not going away. You don't seem to be doing anything to fix this, because it would start coming on, and then I would just be crying and puking and like needing to be in a room alone. And I would just cry because it was so painful. You just feel, it was the same way I felt about my kankies, like that pain of like, I just can't take it anymore. And there's nothing to soothe it. Nothing. Canker sores, at least you can switch with some stuff that I eventually got from my orthodontist that saved my life and like muted the pain. Migraines, though, are a fickle bitch because they do not respond to pain meds. So last night I went to bed with a headache, couldn't fall asleep, even though I tried to go to bed at 9. I'm like, I'm going to get a great night's sleep. I was tired. The pain was too bad. I would listen to the Waking Up app that I have, and there's a great meditation on there called Working Through Pain. If you download the Waking Up app, they totally revamped it. And by the way, you can get the Waking Up app, which has an introductory course to like meditation. And
There's like
you
50
can get
of
that
them.
Yeah, there's 50 of them. You do a course. I think they actually made it like 30 because 50 seemed too daunting to people. So he walks you through every day. You just do one for 10 minutes a day. There's 20-minute one twos. You can pick which one. I do 10 minutes. And it teaches you how to meditate with Sam Harris's soothing fucking voice. And then there's all these like lessons and like different like just little like monologues that he gives in a separate section of the app for meditations for different things, and just like his theorizing about concepts like regret, which was a great one I listened to today to help me like with feelings of regret of, God, I should have said this. I could have been better doing that. Why didn't I do that? If you're someone that struggles with that, I was desperate for help when I was feeling just immense regret in my life. And that meditation in that app, you can just type in regret and you'll find it, was very helpful. And also my friend Chris, the ex-boyfriend, he recently got into the Waking Up app after, I've been trying to get into it forever, but he, you can't force people to do things. You just have to say, hey, this helped me. And when they're ready, they'll pick it up. And he did. And he was like, he sent me the regret thing yesterday and was like, have you heard this? And I go, yes, but I haven't in a while. And I need a re-up. Like you need to re-listen. So this pain meditation though, dude, if anyone in your life is suffering with pain, like your mom, your like parent, like grandparents, this meditation helps you think of your pain in a way that like while you're going through it, you listen to it, and it has always helped me get to sleep. But last night my pain was so bad, it didn't even help me. It helped me a little bit, like think about pain. What the thing I like he says about pain, and this is a concept I also heard from this philosopher that someone turned me on to named Emil something. I know his name was Emil because my friend Emil. But he said that suicide is pointless because you're killing yourself because you're in so much pain. But in reality, suicide is not the answer because you've already made it through the pain. If you're alive right now and going, I want to kill myself, the pain that you are talking about is already past. You made it through. So like your fear is future, which you don't have the ability to actually know or predict. The pain you do know, the pain that came before and the pain you're currently in, you've already made it through. And the same with this pain meditation. He's like, he has a migraine while he's recording. He's like, I'm actually experiencing a migraine right now. And I'm just, paying attention to the raw sensation of the pain. And he goes, the anxiety of what's coming next, that's what pain really is. When you're going, oh, I want this to go away. It's not because it's like painful in the moment. It's because you don't want it, because you've already made it through that moment. Like if you're in the moment, you're alive. You made it through, you survived. It's the fear of the coming moment, which is an interesting concept to think of, like, oh, pain is actually just being scared that it's going to keep going. So anyway, it helps me. But last night, Noah, I woke up at 2 a.m., which was such a gift when you wake up and you think it's 5. And I'm like, God, I have 45 more minutes to sleep, but it was 2:14. I read it as 2:41 and I go, it's either 2:14 or 2:41. Let me check it again. I know it's going to be 2:41 because God never gives me an extra 30 minutes. And I checked, it was 2:14. I was like, what the fuck? What a great night. But my head was throbbing so bad. I woke up from the pain. And I started to try to cry but there was no, crying for me is like a way to make people understand how in pain I am so that they soothe me a lot of times. And crying alone was like pointless. And I was just feeling so sorry for myself because I couldn't make it stop. And I took more Excedrin. And I tried the meditation. I tried listening to YouTube videos about migraines, but like it hurt to look at my phone. And then I was thinking, do I have any pain meds? Like, prescription strength. And I was like, I don't, except I know who does. Luigi got a tooth taken out last week. And I was like, I know. And we did not make it through all the pain meds because he didn't need them. Like when I gave him some, he just seemed drugged out and uncomfortable. And he just didn't seem to be in pain. I looked for signs of pain. And so he has all these pain meds. And then I started reading and it was like, this thing is like an opioid. People die on this stuff. It's like you can get addicted. And I just started getting really scared and I didn't do it. But I have never gotten a migraine like this since I got my IUD taken out, and it was so terrible, and I'm fucking scared of having it again. So I think I need these little pills that my mom had for her migraines that she would take when she felt one coming on, and she gave me a couple, and I used to take those when I felt it coming on, and it would go away. So I think I just need that, and I need to be very I need to be precautious. I need to, as soon as I feel a migraine coming on, I don't need to convince myself, oh, it's just a little thing, because once it comes on full blast, there ain't no turning back. So in the end, I woke up this morning, and what a gift my migraine was. I'm glad I would not have wished it on myself, but I will say I woke up this morning with the lack of pain was amazing. And I would have used a vibrator on my head, by the way. That is my usual go-to. I would have used an intense vibrator on my head, but I have to shoot something today, and I didn't want to look like Quasimodo. So I woke up today so grateful. The pain is gone. I feel good. Let's bring Andrew in. Andrew, by the way, has a great outfit on today, and I'm going to give him credit for it because I don't usually do that because I feel like he's asking for it, and I just don't like when people are like, do you think I like when I don't like when people ask for things. I like to give compliments when they're not
expecting it.
Yeah, or like not that they're, because I love giving compliments to people who are like put in effort, but it's different when you're like kind of hovering around like, do you like my outfit? And he wasn't doing that today. But generally I keep my compliments to myself because I can be a bitch sometimes, and I'm like, I just don't want it. He wants it so bad. I don't want to give it to him. And that's not just with Andrew. It's like across the board. And I know people are going to be like, you're such a bitch, Nikki. I know you do this too. Everyone does it. When people want things, you tend to just like, so I'm not alone. I'm not a bad person, but I got to fight that urge, and I'm going to give him a compliment. Stay tuned. Andrew! Hey, Andrew.
Good morning.
I love your outfit.
Thank you.
I loved it so much when you didn't have the blazer on, though. I like this look, but like with earlier this morning when you walked out, I was like, oh, that's a good outfit. And I didn't say it because I was in the middle of listening to a Sam Harris meditation, and I also just told my listeners that sometimes when I feel like people want compliments, I keep them to myself, and it's such a dirty thing that I do. Not just to you, to like anyone. The other day, my mom was like, "You like it?" She goes, I can't talk about what we were talking about, but she's like, these cameras that have been around the house, it's the last day that they're going to be here for us, and yeah, it's actually I'm looking forward to a little break. And I go, oh, okay. And she goes, yeah, it's been a lot. And I'm like, oh, all right, just, it'd be nice if you said something once in a while and acknowledged that. And I go, wait, do I not? I was like, what do you want? And she's like, I don't know. Just saying thank you sometimes would be nice. And I'm like, oh, that's not the way you're going to get it from me, bitch.
Yeah, you won't get that.
And like, the thing is, why not? Why can't I just say, you know what? You're right. I haven't given you thanks. I'm really sorry. Like, I couldn't, and I become such a brat. And it turned into this entire fight in front of all these people with cameras. The cameras weren't on, but it was like, I made a really awkward moment for my mom, and like, was like, oh, you're being passive aggressive about it? Why don't you just tell me you want to thank you instead of being like, it'd be nice. And I was such a brat, and everyone who's been around me for the past couple of months with cameras witnessed me being such a little baby, and it was so embarrassing. But it was all from her wanting it and me being like, I'm not going to give it to you because you want it. And sometimes I feel like, not just you, anyone,
yeah.
I do it myself where I'm like, I'm wearing something new and I'm like, I want someone to say something and they don't give it to me, and I'm so, but I don't want to give it to them because they want it. Do you ever do that?
I get that.
But your outfit today was fucking cool.
I decided to not wait for a celebrity to die to dress like them.
Okay, let me guess.
Do you know who I am?
Hold on. Oh. Okay, first of all, Paul Rudd, Joel McHale.
That's who you think I would choose?
I mean, no, but this is
I would
an
wait
outfit
for
that
both
I would
of them
see,
to die. Come on, think sweater, blazer.
Seth Meyers, Adrian Brody.
Come on,
Wait,
Nick.
give me.
Do you even know who I am?
I don't know. Narcos. You've been watching Narcos a lot. Narcos. And I don't know how the fuck you watch Narcos. I was watching you watch Narcos. And by the way, that is watching you look at your phone while Narcos is playing, which would make sense if Narcos was in English. But you don't speak Spanish, so you're looking at your phone. You're not looking at Narcos.
See?
You're not looking at the subtitles.
See?
How do you know what's going on in Narcos?
I don't.
I was going to watch and quiz you today about things that I knew you had missed.
Oh, I missed everything. I
But
missed everything.
I don't know.
Todos.
Todos. Okay, tell me
Larry David.
Oh,
Hey!
that is a Larry David outfit. You guys check it out. Okay, for those of you listening, fuck you. You have to go to the YouTube channel. I'm not going to describe it.
But also keep listening.
And also, I'm just kidding. Don't fuck you. I love our listeners. But no, but you have to go to. I'm going to send you to YouTube. That's how you're going to see this outfit, and it's
So-
going to be in a couple days. So sorry for those of you who want to see it now.
We'll take a photo and maybe put it on the Instagram. or
No,
something.
no, I want them to
never
have to go to
mind.
YouTube and see it because you really are nailing it.
I don't want to wait for him to die.
He's bald. He's wearing little glasses.
I have little glasses.
No, it's a great outfit.
Yeah, why'd you shave the top
sweater.
of your head?
Yeah,
Too far.
Look, in about 10 years, I won't need to. I'll be really nailing
Wait a
it.
second. Where did you get that sweater and those
Okay,
pants?
so the sweater and the jacket comes from a company called Taylor Stitch, which we walked into in San Francisco.
Oh, this is the way you were looking the other day on a website, and I go,
Yes, Jen
I go,
picked this out.
Jen, my
who's
assistant,
the best.
Jen White, yeah, the Jen White on Instagram,
Who's
She
also a
posts amazing
fashion like
stories.
connoisseur because she did it all for F Boy.
Yeah, F Boy. She was the wardrobe assistant to the wardrobe, director, and then, but she usually works in production. She's done The Amazing Race, like literally like 38 seasons of The Amazing Race. Someone who produces The Amazing Race, I was like, not only are you a fun hang, but like I know you can manage my life.
Oh
if
my
you are,
God.
If you can manage anything, you could be the White House. She could run the country.
I mean,
If-
have you ever if you've traveled at all, like, so when I was a junior going into my senior year in college, I went to Europe and we went. I
How
met my.
you made it through and made those flights and didn't lose your
There's some things
passport.
you're gonna love. One, I had a roller bag instead of a back. Everyone backpacks. I had a big roller, and like you just don't use a roller when you go through the
And
Euro rail.
You don't use a roller even now when you might
Well, now
when you have the ability to
the roll on.
not be staying in hostels.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
You're a backpack boy.
I'm a BPB.
BPP.
BPP.
That's another thing.
So I meet my brother in Amsterdam. That's where I met Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And for
Your brother.
me, if I was traveling, I would have went to Amsterdam and then maybe one other city.
Right.
My brother went. We went Amsterdam.
Your brother is a Jen.
He's a Gen.
He's
Amsterdam, Munich, Prague, Budapest.
I was gonna say all these places you've been. I go, how did Andrew?
Dress so well now.
No. Like, how did Andrew figure out all that? Like, he's been to so many countries, and now it makes sense. Your brother was like planning
Yes.
it. That's cool.
So we went Prague, Budapest.
We need people like that.
Athens,
I'd be the
Greek
same way.
islands, Rome, Milan.
Dude, I would have done
in a month.
I would
in
have
a
done
month.
Amsterdam and nothing else. I wouldn't have
Nothing
gone
else.
anywhere.
I
else.
would have. Yeah, I would have died in Amsterdam.
I would have stayed
like a gentleman.
I would have been seen the Anne Frank house and gone, I'm good to go. And
got
I just
room, Anne?
But the thing is, there's something about that too, by the way. Let me just say that there is something about
Yes.
seeing a million places in one and going to all the tourist spots in one city. And there's something about living your life like you would if you lived there, like a lazy life in a new place.
So true.
That's where I'm truly this year when I have some free time, I'm going to go to Paris for a month.
Aye?
And maybe more than that and live in Paris. I want to.
I love
it's
that for
always been
you.
a dream. I want to do it before the world gets really fucking weird and Paris
I'll
still
definitely
has.
visit.
Yeah, I mean, you could with that outfit today. It's very Parisian.
Oh, dude, if I had a baguette and a cigarette, anything that rhymes.
With an et. And a Tourette's.
Okay, that's bad. Oh wait, that's not Tourette's. That's
Tourette's could
Parkinson's.
be,
well, Tourette's does do that too.
I don't feel like anything's bad. Like, doing, what Trump did to mimic someone with a mental illness or a physical handicap. I think the guy wasn't even mentally handicapped. He was physically handicapped. The guy he was mocking.
Yeah.
That famous thing he did. That is disparaging someone, but acknowledging that people with Tourette's
Yeah, they go like this
do a
sometimes.
thing
Yeah.
or people with Parkinson's do a thing is not a pejorative statement, or saying that someone's in a wheelchair and acknowledging it. I get so annoyed, and I've said this before,
Where you
when
can
I'm on
observe it.
stage and I
Yeah.
say something like, I talk about anal or like licking a guy's asshole, and I'm like, if you want to make a guy come so fast, it's like hitting a turbo button, like that button, like the Paul Walker button, and people go, oh, and I go,
Whoa.
I'm just trying to make women understand what button I'm talking about in a car, because we don't know that button, but we do know Paul Walker died in a very fast car. And yes, it's I could say the button in fast cars that they press in Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
It's not, and I'm not saying his death is funny. It's just a way to get right to it, just like he did that wall. And again,
He wasn't driving, though.
People could cancel me for that. He wasn't? Okay, well, whoever was driving got to that wall.
Yeah.
Listen, people can go, oh, Nikki's making fun. I'm not making fun. It is a joke, but it happened.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. And
You sure?
And sometimes, just referencing someone killing themselves, you're just like, oh, did you guys not know he killed himself? Did I kill him? Why are you mad at me? I'm just referencing. I think should we just act like Paul Walker, that didn't happen to him, and we should only talk about him like, oh, we're not going to talk about the tragedy that was his death. Let's just, everything's fine.
Also, we could talk about the million documentaries or the million interviews where people have used his death to get clout of some sort. Like, is that worse than a joke?
The joke I always think about, and I don't even know if, I'm sure she'd be fine with it, but I wrote a joke for Amy Schumer for the roast, which when I do roast, I have all my friends. You've written jokes for me. You famously wrote one of my favorite jokes. I mean, you wrote a bunch of jokes that made it to roast, I believe. But the one that always comes to mind for me was when I was making fun of Chris Redd from SNL.
Yeah. That was just talking too.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the best roast jokes. Like when I was working on F-Boy Island, I told the crew.
It's like a teenager found. You dressed like a teenager found $1,000 on the ground.
Yes,
you
dressed like a 13-year. Like I said you dressed like a 9-year-old found.
what was it?
$100 on the ground or something like that.
Yeah,
we changed the age and
thank God he was dressed perfectly
because that's how he dresses.
Yeah.
It was you nailed it. But you wrote that one, but that's the best roast jokes are just simple observations. Like when I said I didn't know what to say about Dom Herrera. Go Google a picture of Dom Herrera. I'm not familiar with his comedy. I didn't know him. I just looked at a picture one day and I was like, he looks like a sleepy potato. And then that was such a funny line to me to go, Dom Herrera, you sleepy potato. People are just like, it's so simple, it's so stupid. My Poppy could have come up with it.
But taking out you look like and just go, you sleepy.
Yeah, there's the craft.
It's such a little thing, but it makes it so much funnier.
And saying it like you, and I get that from Sarah Silverman of like, you doll, look at you, sleepy potato.
It's like with Historia or whatever, and you said, name's so stupid.
Hilaria. Ilaria.
Story.
Well, they told me her name was Hilar. I asked how her name was pronounced because I wanted to honor it and not like make
honoraria.
Yeah, and so I asked a bunch of people. And they're like, it's Hilaria. And so when I said to him, "Oh, your wife Hilaria," and he goes, "Ilaria," and I go, "What?" And he goes, "Ilaria," and I go, "Oh, it's so stupid."
That might have been my favorite.
I didn't repost that when the Ilaria stuff was going on last year, even though I wanted to so badly to be like, I saw it coming.
You were like editing it. I remember.
But I didn't post it because I like Alec.
I wish he did.
And he's a friend of mine. And I didn't want to.
Before he was a murderer.
Involuntary, but yeah, I mean, I guess technically you could call him a murderer, but it's like if you did it involuntary.
I'm talking about how he murdered SNL.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I think we've all moved on from that, right? No,
wait,
but
what was the joke for Amy Schumer?
So I wrote the joke. So she was doing the roast of Charlie Sheen, and she, much like I learned to do from her, and she learned from like people who think everyone writes every roast joke. And by the way, Amy wrote one of the roast jokes for me that I get credit, that I get told is the funniest joke of mine constantly.
Oh, the Spice Girls.
Yeah, people always go, "Oh my God, I love your roast." When we're taking pictures at Meet and Grace, I love your roast. That Spice Girls line or the Jewel jokes were amazing. And I always go, which ones? Because I wrote one Jewel joke about her teeth, and then Amy wrote one, and I combined them. I said, Jewel, I don't want to badmouth you, but God already did.
I mean, that's a fucking phenomenal
I wrote that
joke.
one, but like Amy.
Jesus Christ, dude, that's so good.
Amy wrote, Jewel, I love your teeth, which was a perfect way to go from badmouthing to go and say God already did. Then I go, I'm just kidding. I love your smile. I love your teeth. They're like the Spice Girls. They're all a different color and they're each doing their own thing. But that, like, even the delivery was Amy's. Like the way she said it, I just go, what?
Jewel being a good sport and laughing as showing her teeth made the fucking joke.
Well, that's the thing. The response from the celebrity means everything. And that's why the joke that I had written for Amy, which I was so excited to get into her set, was Steve-O was on the roast of Charlie Sheen, and Ryan Dunn had just died. Remember Ryan Dunn?
Yeah. He's done. What?
Like
what happened?
Like Cooked?
No, the show. He's off the show. Oh, he died?
Your joke, I joked on your joke. Like you said done, like his life is done, and I was like, no, like well done.
Oh, you said well done.
No, I didn't say well done. I said done like the meat. I think.
Oh, order up.
Ding ding.
Just kidding.
So I wrote the joke that was, and please understand, listen to this is a perfect example of when people go, oh, and it becomes controversy. Amy got death threats and had to have higher
I know the
security
joke.
for the
I
joke.
didn't even know that you wrote this.
What?
Yeah, I never knew.
Really?
Oh
my God, that's
This
that's
joke-
not something I've ever been vocal about because I don't like to go, I wrote that, especially for Amy because she's been so generous to me. I don't want to be like, I take credit for that. But the thing is, I'm giving Amy credit for like so much of my career and the joke that one of my jokes that I'm get the most credit for, the Spice Girls one, and many others she wrote for me. And the fact that I went so hard on Ann Coulter was also Amy going, listen, I'm looking at your set. This is the first roast I did of Rob Lowe. And she goes, looking at your set, I think you just need to eviscerate Ann Coulter. Like, you have this opportunity that we all want and we all want to see it. And it was my first roast. That was a very big risk to take, to go so hard on her. And Amy was the one that was like, you have to. Like, this is an opportunity that will be squandered if you don't do it. And I was like, I'm gonna go that hard. She told me to do my whole set about Ann Coulter, which would have been awesome. The Mexican joke was actually written by Mike Lawrence, and that was the last joke I added to that set. And that's the joke that I'm most famous for. That changed my career. But this joke that I wrote for
isn't crazy just one joke?
I mean, just one little thing.
It's like a hit song.
Yes.
That's the anyways, but yeah.
And you know what? It wasn't even that joke. It was the fact that someone put that joke in a roast compilation on Facebook that got shared by one person that might have had, it's like, could be, my popularity could be down to one person with 8 million followers sharing it on his page on a day, on Christmas Day when people had a lot of downtime. It can come down to that kind of thing.
And it's a video, so it actually goes back to you. It's not like a tweet or something that goes viral.
Right. Your tweet going viral, which is
It's
still
still
making the
going
rounds.
viral.
Oh my God. Andrew has maybe the most viral tweet of all time. We'll get to that maybe for final thought.
Yeah.
Let me just finish this. So the joke was,
Steve-O,
I'm so sorry about your friend Ryan Dunn, because Ryan Dunn had died, I think, a week or so before. I'm so sorry about your friend Ryan Dunn. I'm sure that when he died, you were thinking, God, that could have been me. And we were all thinking, why wasn't it? So all that joke says is we want Steve-O to die.
Yes.
It's not making fun of Ryan Dunn dying in any way.
It's
not.
It's observing Ryan.
It's acknowledging that he died, but it's not making fun of him.
It's not.
It's not. No, it's not pissing on. There's literally there. This isn't a subjective conversation to have of like, is it or is it not? It's who's to say. No, I will say. It's factual. All I am saying is, I'm so sorry about your friend Ryan Dunn's death.
Yes.
I'm sure you were thinking that could have been me. Okay, all of that is true, and I'm sure, and nothing is bad about either of those two things. And then the only thing you get offended by, or anyone gets offended by, is, and we were all thinking, why wasn't it? So what I'm saying is, you have a right to be pissed if you're like, you want Steve-O to die? That's why it's offensive. It's not offensive because we're saying Ryan Dunn died. We're not making fun of a dead guy.
My only point, I get what you're saying, but my point is the joke would not have happened or would have worked without Ryan being dead.
Well, yeah, but like jokes don't work if facts aren't. I'm
No,
saying it's a
I know.
fact.
I get that.
But I'm not making fun. But that's my argument. Is like, just because a sad thing is in a joke,
Yes.
doesn't mean that you're making fun of that sad
I get what
thing.
you're saying.
Saying that something was the 9/11 of my life, people go, oh, I'm offended by that. You can actually get offended by that because that's making light of something that you losing that earring is the 9/11. That's an insane statement to make. It's funny because that's like obviously such hyperbole.
Yeah.
But you could almost get mad at that joke because that's making something that was totally tragic seem not tragic. But putting a fact about someone dying in the context of a joke, for me, I think I could fight to the death on, and maybe change. Listen,
But my thing is,
change my mind.
I think both can be true, though. I think I agree with you. I don't think you're making fun of the death, but the joke wouldn't happen without the death. So
but
then,
also,
therefore,
jokes wouldn't happen without words, and words were written by people that died tragically, probably. Like, we can always link.
But did
something,
they lose an earring?
Right. Well, anyway, but my point is that the reason that joke got Amy so much hate, was because Steve-O was like,
yes, yeah, he like almost cried.
And it's like, I get it because I'm sure he was just bracing himself for a joke
Like how
to
long
be made about
before
Ryan.
that did Ryan die?
It was like a week.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry, too soon or too late. There's no time.
No, I'm not
I get
saying.
it.
I'm saying this
I
is the
get
reason why
saying a person's name, a tragic like figure, it makes everyone tense up. But the joke itself is not. Everyone should have relaxed after that joke because we were making. I'm not saying that Siva should have like laughed, but if he just would have been like,
yes,
like this,
yes.
like man, that is sick. And also Ryan Dunn, I'm guessing, would have laughed at some kind of joke like that.
I think he would.
Was a part of the Jackass crew. I think he
Yes.
probably had a kind of sick sense of humor. And I don't even think it's sick. The joke that he should have been
I'm
offended
with
that
you.
someone
I
wanted
love
him
the
to
joke.
die.
I love the joke. I'm just saying this.
No, you
these
don't.
are
The
reasons.
joke isn't even that good. The fact, like, it's fine. The thing is, people don't need to get the joke. In my opinion, is probably a 5 in the scale of like funny or like clever, whatever. But
But I think all thing considered, I'd give it an 8. Actually,
all thing considered.
all thing.
Okay, but his reaction was the thing that got her the death
Yes.
threats. Him looking like so sad was the thing that made everyone go, "That was mean." And so everything is Jules' reaction to my joke made my joke work, and that's why when Caitlyn Jenner and I did the jokes about her, I wanted to make sure she fucking was on board with me. And how great was she?
I mean, she responded like she hated her family more than you did.
You know, she was like, "I did abandon them. You're right. Go, girl. You get
It was
them
almost too much.
Let's get to the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Good morning, America and Europe and other places too. Australia. It's Thursday. You know what that means? It's Thursday.
I like that the
Hope
only
you're having
other
all the
place you can think
swells.
of is Australia.
Austria.
Oh.
You want me to keep going?
So,
I know all
two
the
birds,
countries.
one stone. Australia. All right, what?
Yeah, what came first? Austria, probably.
I think you mean the names?
Yeah,
Or like geographically?
names. Who copied who?
I don't know. Dude. I don't think either
Isn't
of
it
them
weird?
were copied.
You would think more countries would sound actually similar to either.
They do. Estans.
Oh, Costanza?
Yeah. What, you gonna dress like him next? Let's
He
get to the news.
dies. All right. Uber Eats. You have a great joke about Uber Eats. It used to be your
that
closer.
a guy in the audience gave me. Listen, I am made up of jokes other people gave me.
Joke
And-
away. Okay, Uber Eats gets into the diaper delivery business, adding a new delivery category. Yeah.
I would think that diapers are the number one thing. You're just like, it's like dog food. You're like, I can't. When you're a vegan, there's nothing to give your dog. Like when you eat meat and you run out of dog food, you can go, I'll give him some of what I eat. When I run out of dog food, I have to go to the store.
Yeah, and every time your baby shits, it's a whole new pair of underwear. Like, imagine you shit your pants every time. You had to get new boxers. You know what I mean?
Diapers are so wasteful, but like, what are you gonna do?
They do groceries, prescriptions, alcohol, and flowers. Essentially, they do everything that you need because you decided to
Thank
have
you
a baby.
for choosing this subject, Noah. This is Noah telling me, Nikki, you can use Uber Eats instead of asking Andrew.
Oh, hilarious, Noah! I
Noah's,
love you.
Noah's tuned in.
Noah's too.
Noah's tuned in.
For
No, but you're
babies.
right. I would not. That's what makes me scared about having children is the idea that
Yeah,
I
every day.
might live in a world where, another kind of COVID happens and I can't. What am I going to do with a baby? What if the diaper industry crumbles because society crumbles? Then I have baby shit all over me all the time.
Oh my God, what did they do before diapers?
Cloth diapers.
And before that?
What did they do for tampons?
I
Where
guess
they
you just
made us
shit
go
outside.
sit
You
in a
shit
shed
outside. You shit
for
outside.
a week. Yeah.
Isn't it funny that, like, if you have a small village, you could just shit outside. You start getting to city category. You can't. There's like a
Yeah,
long, there's
plumbing
There's
became
a
a
long.
thing.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
when
line.
they were like, we need to like do something with all this shit. Have you ever seen in medieval times there was a shit chute?
What do you mean? It was like a slide.
So they would have like a tower, like a stone tower. I always see it on Reddit, and you would sit in the on the top of the tower and shit, and it would fall down.
Oh, like our garbage
like a garbage
disposal.
chute, and then it would fall into the ground, and then there would be someone that would scoop the shit. Like it was their job to scoop shit and like take it out of
Whoa.
town. But plumbing is seriously fucking incredible.
Thank
It's
God.
the water system, like all of. It's like that Louis C.K. joke where people are like, "Oh, my phone, I can't." It's like you couldn't even conceptualize And what led to your phone being a thing, the glass being cut, the technology inside? Nope. I couldn't. If there were, I said this before, the Louis C.K. joke. I always wanted to write a joke. If everyone that has ever lived had the same brain as me, we would still be like hitting rocks.
Yeah.
Like
if me and you had to develop, like make skyscraper, like
if there were millions of us, it wouldn't.
Yes.
We wouldn't eventually figure out how to make technology. It would never happen.
no, we would just laugh about like, look how dumb we are, dude. I can't even start a fire.
We would just make fart sounds, and maybe would have come up on how to like draw things on caves in blood.
Yes,
But they
yes.
even did that technique where they would take a hollow bamboo and put red paint or dye that they got from like crushed up berries, and then they would spray it and go and spray their handprint. I mean, that's like the earliest art. Oh my God, I can't talk about yesterday, but I learned that owls are one of the earliest like cave drawings. Horses and owls are, owls that you see on the cave in France, that's like the earliest art that they found made by humans. I don't think art is made by animals, but the earliest art that they found made by humans.
Garfunkel?
By him on a bridge over troubled water in a bridge in Olduvai Gorge was of owls and horses. And you could look at those pictures of owls now, and
You could call me Al?
anyone could recognize that it's an owl. Like any person and anywhere would go owl. And that's just so cool that something that was made, tens of thousands of years ago, we could still go, oh, that's an owl. Like they haven't changed, and there's still something that we want to draw.
It is funny, like hieroglyphics, though. Like no one was like that good of an artist. But
Yeah,
they
that's
also
something.
didn't. They had to like carve.
But it was the same
like,
thing as like tools. Like we didn't have like hammers were just like the tools that Indians used, Native Americans used were just so.
yeah, dude. If we were
they're
in
advanced.
the woods, me and you, and we had to figure
Naked
out.
and Afraid. Fuck, I can only get one of those right, and it's I can get both of them right, and that's all I can do out there. That show. Have you ever seen that show?
First of all, Naked and Afraid would be way scarier if you had to do it in New York. Like, let's do that.
Yeah,
where
because
you-
everyone would be looking at you all the time.
I know.
It's that show is so interesting. I love watching the beginning of it when they just first meet and they're both just like naked. That's so fun.
Yes, that's
there
where
used to
they're
be this show
pretending
called
not to
Dating
look at
Naked,
the
and that was
genitals.
so fun. It was on VH1, and you would
You see
just
'em go like
first
this.
date. You would do naked dating. I thought that was a great idea. We should bring it back.
They go like this. Remember, they go. They'll like look at the dick and the pussy, and they'll go.
And then you get used to it.
Yeah.
And by the end of it,
Eventually.
they just don't care. And okay, next story. So I don't know how we got from there to there,
But hey, look,
diaper delivery.
A 24-year-old woman was riding a Lime rental moped in Brooklyn when she was struck by a box truck, launching her body forward in front of the vehicle and then killing her.
No,
Yeah.
I was really holding out hope for that whole story that she was going to make it. Fuck.
No, she really Ryan Dunn. Too soon?
Too late. Oh, that's such a shame. Yeah, those Lime scooters are so dangerous. I was watching on Reddit the other day. This girl was riding a bike, and you can just see how people make one. There was someone filming these 3 people riding a bike across the street, and the girl saw the guy filming, so she was just like kind of like looking at the camera and kept going and kind of just steered out. It's in the Reddit subreddit called No Yes, and you think something bad's gonna happen, and at the end it's yes. There's also yes no. There's also maybe. There's like all these different subreddits, but this is no yes. So she you could see this huge garbage truck. A second earlier, you would watch her get flattened and just,
That's
like-
the thing with the trucks is
but her bike wheel like bends, and she's just kind of like laughing, like, and it's like that reaction is, it's like when I hit a garbage man with my car and thought I killed a man. My first reaction, I was laughing hysterically because it was so upsetting that it was just like, and I was so scared that I was just like, and it was so unbelievable to see look death in the eyes. Like literally it was slow motion. He jumped and we locked eyes. And then I thought he died because I hit him with a car very
you also
hard.
reversed back over
And then forward again.
Yeah, and then
the whole
back.
time laughing though, but it was only because of shock.
And all.
That's so sad. I'm so sorry for that woman and her family and
Oh, yes,
the
that
charge
sucks.
they're going to get for that Lime scooter. She never was able to, shut it off, so she's probably still being charged.
That was the number one part of the story. The first line was woman
And now her
charged-
parents owe $57,000.
Yeah, and it's running still. So to pay for their funeral costs.
Lime scooters are so fun, though. Don't.
Well,
like,
three people died last year in New York from it.
It was a moped, and Andrew's referring to the Revel program, which is also a moped where people died.
Okay. So these things are really fun.
Yeah, but a
Lime
moped
scooters,
is like that's a vehicle. That's like people think they could
but
just
the
ride a
Lime
motorcycle.
scooters are fucking.
The
they can
best.
go fast,
Oh,
and
they're-
they are a vehicle. Watch, you guys. Don't go on sidewalks, seriously, and be careful on those things. Don't do it when you're drunk. All of that, and I'm so sorry for that girl's loss, and I also am sorry for Ryan Dunn's loss. Still,
Yes. Me and Emil rode Lime scooters throughout DC.
yeah,
And his didn't have brakes. And
that's a liability waiting.
hey,
to
he's the
happen.
opener. I do 2 more
They're
minutes.
everywhere.
I
Wouldn't
get
you just
to
hang it up and call it
Hey,
in.
I hazed his ass. No, I really didn't. But
You
he
cut the brakes.
But it was it was funny though because we were going through the intersection and I go, whoa, 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 and he couldn't stop because he didn't have brakes. Oh, it was a great prank.
And
He
we'll
loved
miss
it.
him.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. But yeah, no, I think like.
Just kidding.
How many times were you walking through New York? We've talked about this before, where you cross the street, or maybe 10 streets, and you're like, "Oh, I haven't looked once." Like, and you're like, and then like, I don't know. There were many times where I almost got hit by a car.
I
in New
know
York
I'm not
City.
the only one out there. How many times have you looked at your phone when you're driving
Oh well, yeah.
and looked up and go, I don't remember the last time I looked up.
How am I in Nebraska?
And-
I should maybe build a house here.
Let me say, I know that's terrible, but
Yes.
yes, it's. I'm just saying it's happened to me before. Not proud of it, and I do everything I can when I'm in the car now to go. No, like I don't write back to people. I try to put it on midnight mode, like I'm masturbating, and I don't want text from my dad about my Aunt Lynn dying. You missed that part of the show yesterday. Oh. That's how I found out. I put my phone on midnight mode to masturbate when we were in Cancun.
Yeah.
And and then I'm like done masturbating. I'm just like like lying in my own filth and shame. And I put it out of midnight mode. And it's just like dad. And then all of a sudden a text from dad. They found Lynn today. Lynn passed away. And I'm just like, I have like cummed on toys in my hand and like a girl being violated on my screen. And I'm just like laying there naked. I'm like, oh God, she's probably looking at me right now.
Oh yeah, Aunt Lynn.
Yeah, it'll pass. All right, so
Sounds like she went midnight mode.
let's take a break and come back with. Oh, it's our weekly sports moment. We took a break.
sound excited
We
about
didn't
it.
do it last week, so let's do it when we get back. All right, let's do it. Hit it, Noah. Here's Andrew's weekly sports moment.
Oh boy, I think you're gonna love this one, Nick. 105-year-old, 105.
Wow.
Julia Hawkins set a world record completing
Marathon?
100. No. You think a 105-year-old can run a marathon?
I bet you anything a 105-year-old has done a marathon.
No way. I'd bet $1 million.
Really?
Not $1 million, because
Noah, look it up. The oldest person to run a marathon.
I'd
Go on.
go. Okay, before you, let's
And
guess here.
Run is a. I'm just saying complete a marathon.
Okay, complete a marathon without any like
No
wheelchair,
wheelchair.
no electron.
Okay, but tell me what this. Well, she looks it up. Tell me what this one.
She just ran a 100-meter dash, which when you say
Whoa.
marathon, is like nothing anymore.
No, but a marathon. I think would actually be more easy because you could go slow. A 100-meter dash seems fast.
Well, nothing's fast for a 105-year-old. I mean, they have video of
Why
her
did
running.
she do this?
She runs every year. I mean, that's what she looks.
Cutie.
She is kind of cute. She is cute.
God, 105 years
She broke
old.
the records too. Like she got under a minute, 100 meters.
I mean, I don't know that I could do that.
Yes, you
Under a
did.
minute?
You probably could run.
Oh, is this her? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
She's so.
What a cutie.
Yeah.
Look at her go.
Oh my God.
She looks amazing for
I mean, 105, that's insane. I'm so scared her bones are just going to snap. Oh, honey girl. Think of what she's witnessed in her lifetime. 105. What does that make her born in? The 19 teens.
I know. She's seen the Snuggie.
She saw the Snuggie. She saw TLC Scrubs. She saw the show Scrubs.
She saw Left Eye tragically.
Oh my God, that
away.
video. Talk about a last image. Reddit. Have you ever seen the video like right when the crash happens?
No, of a car crash or
Yeah,
plane
car crash.
Car crash.
They're filming like a documentary / reality show and she's in the, or maybe someone in the car was filming her as she slept.
Oh yeah, I think I
and
did
they're
see
all
this
just like
one.
peacefully like filming, and then all of a sudden you see like, oh fuck, and then it's like you see her sleeping, and then it's just the wiggle of the camera, and then it's like lights out. It's so scary.
So I'm guessing marathon, oldest person. I'm going
103.
I'm going 85.
No way.
Okay, well, on
Noah?
a quick search.
Quick Goog.
What did you say? 103?
Okay, on a quick search, it says 89.
Yes.
But also, like, I can't read all these websites right now, so
Okay,
I don't know
I
if
get
it's
it.
true or not.
Wow. I mean, I'm good job.
103, Nick. 26 miles.
I don't know, dude.
Like, what?
I just think humans are capable of so much.
I think you're probably going to get to a point later on in life, if you live long, where you're going to like get really into running, because you're going to, just be like,
Yeah, I'm gonna
like
have
living
a
a-
brain damage that makes me not be able to process time. That's when people can run like hundreds of thousands,
Oh my
hundreds
God.
of
Oh,
miles.
yeah, like that one
Their
lady.
brain stops. Their short term memory goes to shit, so they always think they just started running. And if your brain, that's why when I'm running long distances, sometimes I just go pretend like this is the first mile. Just trick your brain into thinking, and then all of a sudden you get this you get a new energy, and it's so much of your tiredness is about how long you've been going, which is interesting because
'Cause
it's just your
yeah.
thought. It's not actual. Because Navy SEALs say that when you feel during a workout, like, we've all been in the spin class before, Orange Theory, those boot camps where we're like, I'm going to die. Like, I'm going to pass out. And they say you have 15 times
I mean,
that
that's
amount.
wild.
Times, not just 15 more minutes, 15 times the amount before your body would actually give up. Because it's so mental.
so that 105-year-old could have ran 1,000 meters or
Yeah.
1,500 if she was
I don't know
really
about
doing
that.
it.
105 is insane. And I was listening to a podcast about aging, and they were like, whether or not the human body might find a way to survive into 140, like numbers like that pretty soon, but your brain does not last that long. We haven't found a way to keep the brain working well for that long. So you might live to 140, but you're going to have the brain of a 100-year-old, which your brain deteriorates no matter what with age, and they haven't found a way to not have it
Dude,
do
your
that.
body is going to look insane at 140.
I know. So
I mean, I
thin.
guess people were saying that when you're dying at 30, and people were like, people are living to 50?
Yeah.
I mean, but we've seen
But
105-year-olds.
but brains haven't caught up. Like, even our brains now, like, that's why no one makes it past really. I was listening to Sam Harris talk about it with Ricky Gervais, and he's like, Ricky's like, now is it anyone who like your brain just like doesn't deteriorate? And he's like, no, like there's no evidence. There's fairly lucid 90-year-olds, 80-year octogenarians, nonagenarian, whatever it's called, but I
wonder at what age your brain is the best.
Probably 27.
That's when it's still taking in things, but
No, I think it's done by then. Let's get to Fanthrax.
my one other question. We only use, 10% of our brain? Isn't that the most
that's you.
absurd fact? Oh.
I don't know
85.
that that's true.
Hey, that's what I've heard.
We need to Google that too, but not now. Google helps us use the other.
90%.
It takes up the other part that we're not using. We just turn to Google. Okay, Fanthrax.
Fanthrax.
All right, let's get to it, Noah. What do we got?
All right, our first voice message is from Steph.
All right, Steph.
Hi, Nikki, Andrew, and Noah. This is Steph, living in Berlin, Germany. First of all, I want to say thank you sincerely for the work you do. You help a lot of people. I'm a day one bestie. I'm so similar to you guys in myriad ways. I can't believe I found my tribe in a podcast because I'm not really a fangirl of anything. I'm a little cuh like that, but I'm a fangirl of this place, and I'm part of this group. You guys are all so vulnerable. You share your secrets so willingly, and it helps so many people. You inspired me to want to share a secret back with you to level the playing field. And my secret is that I've been living without my 2 front teeth for the last 6 months. That's right. I'm a 31-year-old woman, and I've been living without my 2 front teeth. I look like a 6-year-old child in the body of a 31-year-old woman. Truly only like my mom and my boyfriend know this. I've been hiding it from everyone I meet. all of my friends, all of my acquaintances. I have this like fake set of teeth that I have to wear, and it's really, really stressful. I even dropped them on a Greek island in the middle of summer and snapped them in half. Thank God for face masks, honestly. I've had an infection in the bone. I have to get them replaced, but I just wanted to share that secret with you guys so I can feel a bit more empowered, bit less fearful to be who I am.
Oh my God.
I'll see you guys in LA. All the swells, all of the love. Can't wait to meet my tribe.
Oh, you're gonna be in LA. Oh my God, Steph, I freaking love you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, I
can't get over the voice, the rhythm of her voice, the honesty of her mouth.
The honesty of her mouth. I love that. She is so sweet, and like that must feel freeing to just admit it and to say it into the world and think, oh my God, maybe it's gonna be out for thousands of people to hear this thing that I'm admitting. So congrats to you for just doing that. And what a cool thing. We can ask people to share their secrets with us.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I love that, Steph. Steph, you just like started a new segment with us for Fanthrax. If you have a secret that you want to put out there, share it with us. And
a little crass here. You take it out for the blowjob because I think that could be a thing.
I think it could the other teeth like next to it could like be very sharp if they're not.
Unless he has a skinny penis, but
my dad actually had to have 3 teeth removed because of a bone infection last week, and I don't know if I had talked about that. Maybe that's why you were sharing that. But he had his front 3 teeth removed and was very insecure about it, and has to wait 4 months for it to get made. Steph, I'm wondering when you'll get your teeth put in, but like. Yeah, your bone infection's not your fault. Even if it's like because you didn't floss, that's still not your fault. You just didn't prioritize flossing because of things that led you to not care about that as much, and it's not your fault either. So I'm so sorry that you are insecure about that, and I'm grateful for you that you got to have the mask situation as well. And yeah, I would honestly think it's cool if I met a 31-year-old woman who didn't have front teeth and like was just like, oh, I just like, you know, like my bone infection. I'm just waiting. Like, I think it's something that I hope this first step can take you to a place where you can maybe like be light with yourself about it and like gentle with yourself and be able to like kind of make fun of it. And our friend Stavros.
Yeah, he
was missing a
leans into
tooth.
it. I mean,
and he was going to get replaced. And then he just like, check out Stavros Halkias. Sorry, what was her name again? Steph. I think he's.
I think he has a tooth now, though.
But it's Stavi Baby on Instagram, and he was supposed to get it replaced right away, and then he just left it, and it became this charming thing, and he got laid so much from it because it was just someone that's confident with no teeth. It does something to you as a woman to be like, this guy has no tooth. He should feel ashamed of that because based on what we think people should feel about not having teeth, but because he didn't care, it was so hot.
It is hot.
And Steph, I'm turned on by your vulnerability and your beautiful voice. And I might not remember when we meet in LA that you're the Steph from
take your teeth
the thing.
out
So just please, you can just whisper and be like, I'm Steph from Berlin, and I'll remember. Can't wait to meet you. Next Fanthrax.
Okay, next one is from Grace.
Hey, Nikki, Andrew, and Noah. This is Grace from Denver. Nikki, I have a ticket to your show coming up in a few weeks, and I am super excited about it. But I had to call in today because I was at the drugstore earlier, and I needed a blending sponge for makeup, and I went to go grab it, and it was locked on the hook. And I was like, there's one guy working at this Walgreens. I don't want to have him come unlock this blending sponge that's $5.99. So I was like, this is exactly what Nikki was talking about. I'm going to buy it. It's fine. I'm going to buy the blending sponge. And so I just ripped it. And I walked around the store and I did the rest of my shopping and I checked out and everything was fine. So, and
good.
What you said helps me in that moment, Nikki. And it made me laugh. And I'm looking forward to the show. All the swells.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
I was wondering if
I
she
was
got
so
tased.
scared that she was going to get in trouble. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, no.
Tased.
Please let this. I thought it was going to be the Lime Scooter story. I was
Yes.
like, please let her survive this.
This was a no, yes.
Oh, that was a total no, yes.
Yes.
But also, it was a yes, yes, no, no, yes.
Maybe.
Because I was like, yeah, just rip it. And then I'm like, wait, don't. Whoa. Yeah. If you're going to buy that shit, like, that's the thing. Like, sometimes I go to a Starbucks and I start, like, I just grab a drink that I know I'm going to get on mobile order. Like, say I'm waiting for my mobile and it's not ready yet. And I see the cooler. I'm like, I want sparkling water. I do the mobile order and I just grab the sparkling water. And it looks like I'm stealing. And everyone there might think I'm stealing. But I know I'm doing the right thing. So I'm okay with it, you know?
Yeah. No, I think like just rip and go. Also, don't pay for it sometimes.
Maybe if you rip it though, you'll go, oh man, I just got away with something that felt good. Let me just walk out of here with it. But don't do that. Please do not steal.
CVS and you steal other things.
Yeah, stealing. Maybe someone will write in and tell us they're a kleptomaniac. If you're an adult woman who's still stealing, leave us a message, or a man who's still shoplifting. I will not judge you. Maybe you get it off your chest. It would help you stop doing it. But I think
make
that
sure
if I
you-
never got caught shoplifting, I would still be doing it.
Just blur out your voice.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sitting on Just Kidding. Oh, my God. Whenever I sit on my mom's Just Kidding, it sounds like her voice is coming from my ass.
Just kidding.
And I wasn't. It really did. Okay. Next Fanthrax.
All right, next one is from Leanne.
Hey, Nikki, Andrew, and Noah, longtime listener here since the U Up days. First, I just want to thank you guys so much for doing this podcast. I listen every single day on my way to and from work. I have an SSDJ that is an hour drive, and I used to be so nervous driving on the 2-lane highway to get there. Nikki, I so relate to your fear. But actually now I look forward to the drive because I get to listen to you guys. So I have a quick story. I was at work the other day at my SSDJ, very quiet office. There's only a few people in there. I can't even eat my lunch in there because you would be able to hear me crunching on my shredlet. Throwback to episode 21. So I took my AirPods out of my case the other day to listen to music. And you know how sometimes it will like disconnect, reconnect to your phone, and your phone speaker will play something out loud.
Oh, no.
So I just hear in my dead silent office, why do I care? And it was so loud. My phone was literally on the top volume. I just kind of played it off, said sorry to the old lady behind me because she was laughing, and I really hope that she's secretly a bestie. It was so funny. I have a quick mispronunciation story as well. My boyfriend was reading off some seltzer flavors, and he accidentally said papaya instead of papaya. So now I always think of you guys and
Papaya.
when I see the word papaya.
What a poppy.
All right, love you guys. I'll see you in Ben Salem
Oh
in
my
December,
God.
Nikki and Andrew.
Where is she going?
Where was it?
To Salem.
Salem.
We're going to Salem?
In Oregon?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh.
Winston-Salem? I don't know. North Carolina?
I didn't catch
But
it,
then-
but you'll see her.
I didn't catch it either, but we'll see. Just tell us next time, and maybe I'll listen to it on the replay. So love all the, first of all, SSDJ and the shredlet and the just so many references in there. Loved
She also
it.
gave you a kiss at the end. I don't know if you heard that.
She did. A
She just went
gentle,
like, "Mwah."
a mic kiss.
I might kiss.
Oh, I kissed the mic today thinking it was Luigi's head. I literally was
What do you
petting
mean?
Luigi, and I was just like, and I was just like, what am I doing? And I did it twice. We're going to put it on the Instagram because it was before the show. It was really weird. So many things to say there. I hate when it accidentally is playing loud.
Oh, my God.
And people for a second think that I'm one of those people who listens to my stuff loudly.
I mean,
on
thank
speaker.
God it was just why do I care?
I mean,
'Cause
I
it
was
could have
thinking
been-
it could have been me crying. That's always my biggest fear is it's me being like, and I was anorexic when I was 18 and people are like, oh, shut the fuck up. Or like, I just don't feel pretty today and my life is so that is, I hate when that happens. And I'm so sorry you have an SSDJ. To everyone out there who has a
An
soul-sucking,
SSDJ, yeah.
soul-sucking
Desk job.
desk job.
Oh, sorry, day job.
No, I think it's desk job, but I think maybe day job fits too. In
Standing
case you're
desk,
not at
too.
a desk.
Yeah.
Some people just work at a grocery, whatever, something that's soul sucking. Shout out to you. Like, not everyone has to have a career that fulfills them and gives them purpose. I think that there's so much of those jobs that can make you feel like you're not succeeding in life. Some people don't live to work. They work to live.
Yes.
And I think that we need people to do SSDJs. And that's not to say like, just stay in your position and never strive for something more. Like obviously follow your heart. But if you can have an SSDJ that someone else might look at and be like, I could never do that. That would be hell. you might be able to enjoy yourself. There's certain jobs I've had in the past where I go, if the things I love wouldn't have afforded me a career like comedy, like if I was into, I don't know, paint by numbers, and I'm like, I can't monetize this, I might be able to have there's certain SSDJs that would have really behooved me. Kristen and I ran into one of, the woman that cleans she's an older woman who is probably in her 50s.
Who cleans in the apartment?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she cleans our apartment building, and she's so cute. And some days I just I feel sorry for her because I'm like, she should be retired. She has to clean up after people. She's cleaning our floors. She probably couldn't afford to live here with the money she's making. And I'm saying probably as in I know with the amount of money she's making, she couldn't. And it's that must suck. And I was with Kirsten, and I was I always try to be so nice to her.
You don't know that she actually owns the building?
She just
cleans it like it's her own
I
apartment.
wish that would be the best story.
Yeah, that would have been that would have been a no, yes.
Oh my God. But I was getting in the elevator, and Kirsten and I had just seen her, and she said something to Luigi, and it was a sweet little interaction, but she just seemed sad to me, and she's never listening to headphones. I could always go, oh, at least she gets to listen to podcasts all day. She's just in her own mind, and to me that would be, I'm I hope when I'm her age I'm not doing that. But at the same time, I go, Kirsten, I just feel so sad for her. It actually, I'm starting to almost be it's hard for me to look at her that kind of bullshit, you know? I wish I didn't have to see her because it makes me sad. And then I get Kirsten goes, I don't know. I just like to think that maybe she loves it. Why do we have to ascribe so much meaning to her life that she's miserable? If I were her, I would hate if people pitied me. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. I don't need to feel that way about her. Yes, I can appreciate what she does and know that it's something I wouldn't want to do. And so I should give extra, I'm going to tip at Christmas and smile and try to have conversation and show my gratitude to her. But the sense of pity is not one that I need to have for her, because Kirsten's maybe she feels good after seeing a clean carpet. And maybe it's meditative for her to vacuum. She goes, I don't know, when I see people doing jobs that, on the outside suck, I just like to think maybe they enjoy it. And I don't need to, because Kirsten just said, I would hate if someone looked at my life and said, that's poor girl. That's so sad she has to do that.
I also think,
and I was like, wow, that really, I needed to hear that.
from my conversations with her while I'm hitting the elevator button as fast as I can so she can't get in. But I
throwing your trash on the floor and
get
that.
Yeah, get
bitch.
that.
You missed a spot and you make it.
But I really do value her. No, but honestly, when she doesn't ever have head, because she actually loves conversation, and I think we look at it oh my God, I can't believe you're in your own brain. But she probably likes it because she can talk to people and communicate, and she doesn't feel invisible. That's what we do. We make these people invisible a lot of times because we can't handle the sadness that we think they're going through.
Yes, and that's what I was talking about. I forget what I was talking about on stage, but there was a few weeks ago, a woman in a wheelchair raised her hand in the middle of my show.
Not her leg?
That's so funny.
Thanks.
I should have said that. But I go, and first when I go, are you raising your hand? I didn't see she was in a wheelchair. And then I saw she was in a wheelchair, and I thought that her hand waving was maybe a physical disability of she was kind of thrashing in her chair because of whatever she was dealing with that put her in a wheelchair. So I ascribed all this meaning onto, oh, she's in a wheelchair. Maybe she's not raising her hand. Maybe I'm calling on someone who's just having a tic of some sort that they can't help. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, she is raising her hand. I'm like, what's up? And she's like, I want to say two things. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh dear God, because I was just talking about something offensive, a little bit offensive, molestation, something. And I was like, what's this going to be? She's like, well, as a woman in a wheelchair, I do feel invisible. Because I had made a joke about dogs in wheelchairs. You can go, dogs in wheelchairs are great because you can go, oh my God, it has wheels for legs. Look at it. And you can take a picture and go, what happened? Oh my God, it's so cute. Look. But with people in wheelchairs, you just have to go you're the same. I don't see it. And it's that doesn't help anyone. Yeah, I always go, I don't see wheels. But it's yes, you do. That's making them feel.
Yes.
And she said, I like this woman in this wheelchair, and she doesn't speak for everyone in wheelchairs. But she said that I like when people ask me what happened. And she was in a motorcycle accident years ago with her boyfriend. And so she has I guess a more interesting story than maybe, or interesting in quotes, than someone who was maybe born with a congenital I don't know, a disease that they were born with that put them in a wheelchair. That's maybe, but I think that people in wheelchair, I go, so if I'm in line in the grocery store and I see you at self-checkout or whatever, I can go, what happened to you? And that wouldn't offend you. And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that to people, but I know the answer for people who are maybe morbidly obese or have facial disfigurements or are little people or in wheelchairs, anything that physically makes them stand out. The answer is not looking at them.
You want to know the difference to me? She was in an accident. She
has a story.
She has a story. Maybe she wasn't driving. I'm saying she didn't. Maybe they drove recklessly, which led to the accident.
What would be a story that someone wouldn't want to tell? If I asked what happened to you, what would be something?
I'm just saying, if someone's like morbidly obese, they just keep.
I don't
eating.
say to someone who's morbidly. What happened to you? No,
I'm saying that's the difference, though, in my eyes. Like,
what do you mean? No, I'm just saying about people that have something going on that you go, oh, that's that stands out. You know, someone who's morbidly obese might stand out in a crowd of people who aren't. Like, and your first reaction would be, I'm not going to look at them because they're going to think I'm making fun of them if I look at them, or I'm judging them. But truly, you're just looking at them like you would any other person. And I feel the literature I've read from fat people who have written about the fat experience is that a lot of times they feel invisible because people are trying to be polite by not looking at them, but instead it makes them feel like they're not even there and they're ignored. So it's like the attention they get is always negative. Because it's the people that go, are laughing. And then the people that are decent who wouldn't ever do that don't even look at them. So all they're getting is attention that's negative instead of just being looked at like a normal human.
I guess if you're asking, what's the story behind this? Like if someone's in a wheelchair, it could be
I'm too fat to walk.
Well, that too. But it could also just be seen as like, oh, what happened to this? Why this negative thing is happening to your life? Like, that, but I
mean, I'm saying she didn't speak for everyone in a wheelchair. That was just her experience. I would like to hear from people who might be handicapped or have some kind of physical disability. If you mind when children who don't have a filter, who are generally the people that go, what happened to you? But like, I remember seeing that guy in the Cayman Islands who had a gigantic scar on his leg, and he was able-bodied, but he had a gigantic chunk taken out of his fucking leg.
Oh yeah.
And I go, what the fuck happened to you? And he goes, I was attacked by a bear. And I go, do people ask you about it all the time? He goes, no. And I'm like, but you're always wearing shorts. He's like, they just don't. I'm like, people see that. And that's a good story. People should be asking. And it's not your fault if you're obese. It's not your fault if you're in a wheelchair. It's not your fault if you were in a drunk driving accident that caused, like, that you were the driver. Like, you didn't want that to happen. Maybe you learned from it, but even someone who's obese, I mean, I'm not going to go, what happened to you? You were molested, and so now you eat your feelings? Like, oh, cool story. Like, there's always something there's always a story behind it, but it's never, oh, you're just a lazy piece of shit. To me, that's never the answer. And so I implore people to read about the fat experience because you can make, or any experience that isn't your own, because it's so good to hear from people who you assume you know what's going on. You just don't. Like hearing from little people. Like how that is walking around as a little person, because so many people point you out. I've been with so many people who go, little person. Like people that are like scholars.
Little or tall. Yeah.
Or tall. Oh my God, that guy's so tall. It's like,
dude, how tall are you, dude?
Oh, they get it all the time. And
I heard a story. Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in a elevator with Will Chamberlain. And a guy goes, how's the air up there? To Will Chamberlain.
Yeah.
And Will Chamberlain spit on the top of the guy's head and he goes, it's raining.
And you have AIDS now because I've slept with 25,000 women.
Hey, that's just hearsay.
And you can't get AIDS from spit, so that's a other thing. And please don't cancel me. All right, thanks for listening to the show, you guys. We will be back to Monday.
See you in
I'm going to be in LA Monday,
Columbus,
by the way. I haven't told you guys yet. I just changed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be remote next week. We'll see you in Columbus this weekend and
Huntington,
New York. And then the next weekend, we're going to be in Los Angeles and San Diego. Hope you come to those shows. And then Denver.
With no teeth.
And come with your teeth or without teeth. We'll see you there. Thank you for the Fanthrax. Keep them coming. And we love you. And Luigi's getting alert because he knows it's coming. Don't be cut. And Jack Russell Terrier. Oh my God, I'm getting good at these.
Yeah, I'm not.